Rogue. However, you know, I called KCP the nightmare draw for Space Station in the last round. I stand by that. I think because, you know, based on their record against them this season, they couldn't have been too confident, rather, you know, compared to some of the other potential matchups that they could have ran into. But yeah, Rogue against G2, that is an even longer one-sided matchup, with G2 always coming out on top of Rogue with these variations of lineups and with several before it.
Yeah, in the history of these orgs, these teams are now playing for the 21st time. Highly doubt that there's going to be too many more org matchups that are going to be equaling that first killer. Had a chance to try and flex his muscle. Couldn't quite make the contact he wanted. Now we see G2 transitioning. RIZZO, lovely pass to Chicago. And what a goal that is for G2.
Well, you know, Gibbs said that G2, they might give Rogue a couple of opportunities. They might give them a few goals. And I think that was it. That was the opportunity. First killer missed it. And at the other end of the field, G2 makes short work off the Rogue defense. Perfect pass by RIZZO. Just wide open for Chicago, essentially. The goalkeeper, it didn't even matter if he was there or not with how close that shot came in from.
Rogue, not the start that they wanted here. The team that came into this season, or a little bit more for the preseason, were expected to be starting to climb their way up to those top spots. Instead, it just got ripped away from them. Haven't quite looked like they've been getting anywhere close since. Obviously doing very well. This is their second time in the playoffs. Haven't made it to the semifinals just yet. First killer goes low on the challenge, but they're going to need follow-ups, especially when they are in G2 side of the field, because instead G2 could just use that first attacking player to leave them downfield as a new passing option. Right now, G2 not forced to press the pace. Chicago on no boost, no worries for him.
Wow.
This is just so relaxed in the midfield, and here's going to be another pass, and there's going to be another goal.
RIZZO is playing extremely well in game one. He just read a double touch attempt from first killer off the ground. And how often do you see double touches on the ground being read early? Early enough to set up an interception and the 1-2 passing play. Finish off the shot perfectly as well. You know, G2 currently outplaying Rogue mechanically and positionally with what a read by RIZZO on that last play.
For G2, just how important today is. Only team of this top four that we've seen emerge over in North America to not only not get a playoff win just yet, but not even to make the grand finals. They have seen themselves slip quite far back when it comes to their rivals. What a day it would be to save that big performance, to have it on your double point weekend. Torrentoro, he's not got any boost, he's not got any chance of trying to follow that one up. Very calm affair so far for Rogue, or G2 I should say, but maybe we can get a little bit of excitement in here. Torrentoro halves the lead.
Really good first touch. He just had to drill himself through that one in order to generate power in the direction of the backboard. That would be sufficient to get past the defender, so excellent shot by Torrentoro. And the pass as well from first killer. Definitely had to be called early because that was coming into the middle pretty quickly. There's definitely hope. There is just a glimmer of light for Rogue. I think the problem for them is that when Torrentoro shows up, you know, we don't often see Kronovi showing up at the same time. It's always one or the other. First killer, the consistent player, and then Torrentoro and Kronovi less so. Let's see if they can both put goals into the same game. Kronovi, oh, he's off target, but Torrentoro won't be saved by RIZZO anyway.
And first killer realized he couldn't get a shot on target instead. Has to be saved one more time. Rogue have woken up all of a sudden. Now JKNAPS look to try and put an end to that. G2 finding their own pressure. We have punched the gut. If G2 score from this, instead Rogue do not want to let this pace slow down just yet. First killer tried to overplay it. Does get a bump on the goalkeeper, so Kronovi can now move in. Smothering block though from RIZZO. We do stay the current scoreline, but Rogue are unrelenting right now. They don't want to give up this passage of play. Double commit from G2. Kronovi didn't move in early. Demo on the goal line, and RIZZO has got it covered. Kronovi one more time. RIZZO, fantastic mid-air recovery, can get himself a second touch, and that will stabilize G2's defense.
Yeah, what game RIZZO's having. It was all about the offense earlier on. Now he's just putting in save after save and positioning perfectly in defense. And you'll know how it works. Whenever RIZZO shows up for G2, they can be the best team in NA. Chicago and JKNAPS, there've really been no questions about them and their level throughout the season. If RIZZO keeps this up for the rest of the day, then G2 are going to be a contender.
Here's going to be Kronovi. Wants the block. He found it. It was very much in the air, up in the air at that point about how that ball was going to go. 1 minute left. Rogue have suddenly found another level, another double tap, and a huge save from Chicago. But Toro, Rogue as a whole are finding double tap attempts. That is their third. They've scored one, and they've barely missed the other two.
That's 3v1 now. Can Rogue make anything off it? Not if Chicago is in the way of it. Actually, his touch falls right into RIZZO's path, who can't stop getting involved in this game. Ball's coming to him now. Doesn't even have to try. 25 seconds for Rogue. It's another double for first killer. This one's very, very difficult at an angle. And although there's been so much pressure for Rogue, so many opportunities on net, G2 have had an answer every single time.
Just got to find a couple more of them as well. Here's JKNAPS. Looks to pass to a player on the wall, but that player is Toro for Kronovi on target, but RIZZO again. Equal to the shot. And if Rogue are going to do this, they're going to have to give us our second buzzer beater of the day. And it's not going to happen. G2 survive game number one, and that is a little bit of a confidence booster as well for Rogue, because, Johnny, if we saw what we saw in the first half of the game and got ourselves to this point and we got to have this chat, I'll be turning around and go, well, G2 are just breezing this. They are not even have to really put the foot on the gas. Second half of that game, however, Rogue really came to life.
Yeah, they gave it a good go. That was impressive to see just how much pressure Rogue were able to put on G2. They just upped the tempo. They upped the speed of their own gameplay. 'Cause early on in this one, they were definitely caught out of position by G2, sorry, on several occasions. But mechanically, a confident comeback from Rogue. They were battering the backboard. They sent double touches on target more than once, but how about that for a save from Chicago into his own net, out the underside of the crossbar in order to deny first killer's double touch. It is worth mentioning though, had that double touch just crossed the line without bouncing, I don't think Chicago would have been there. So the accuracy, although it was a very, very hard shot, it had it been perfect, would have been a tie game there from first killer.
One thing we did note in game one, though, is they got 3 separate occasions where Rogue were able to go for those double taps, and it was not contested by G2. They get that sort of success again. What they need after that is the accuracy. As much as it sounds like I'm simplifying it, but it is a potential pathway to success for them.
You're saying they just need to score, for goodness sake.
Score the opportunities they get.
Just put the ball in the net, and you're going to have more success. That is chapter 1 of Shogun's novel on how to win competitive Rocket League.
Hey, we've definitely seen certain players that have made full use of, just taking the opportunities that they get. G2 can't find an answer to that sort of pace this time around. This could be a lot more competitive. We have a full 5 minutes to work with. Here's Chicago, not quick enough to find JKNAPS' pass. For occasion where it looks like if G2 are going to score, it's going to be a play featuring this man, RIZZO. All over the field right now with one of his best performances that I've seen from him this season in game 1. Gets rid of that ball yet again.
Roger's spreading out extremely well at the moment. That ball was coming in from one side, and we had one player sitting deep, and first killer all the way over on the right side. So all angles covered, really. That's something that quickly falls off for Rogue whenever they're losing. Or it can fall off very quickly when they're losing. Now, they're losing here, and so far, they aren't really getting in each other's way. They're not even giving themselves opportunities to double commit for the ball because their positioning is still spread out. And I want to see that continue. Should it continue, Rogue still have a chance in this one.
Oh, here is Toro. Goes for the set. RIZZO times his interception fantastically on the backboard. Now they look to pass over to Chicago. Good block again. So Rogue keeping us at 0-0. That's a massive block from RIZZO. A massive takeout of the goalkeeper. They might have a chance here, but Kronovi intercepts. They're breathing room now for Rogue.
And that was open as well. JKNAPS and Chicago were both pushing up aggressively. And obviously when the dunk comes in, you're just hoping that it doesn't fly on target. This time it did not. It was safely into the corner. But that's a classic G2 maneuver. Just getting ready to get involved in the offense at maybe the expense of your third man positioning.
Kronovi looks for the defensive pass to first killer. Risky. G2 will happily half rotate if they see the chance. JKNAPS over to himself. Passing option might be Chicago, but Can't quite communicate that quick enough, and Chicago's already halfway back. Maybe a double tap from him, and it's going to be set up. Torrentoro realizes he's got all the time in the world. That might just, as it was on the far side. Camera angle definitely made that look a little bit closer than it might have been. Rogue are starting to get all over the place. They've got to prioritize boost control here.
Yeah, they really do. They just they need to get rid of this ball, whether it's from a 50-50 or a hard clear. They need to buy some time so that all three players can reposition, that they can grab those corner boosts and start to prepare for the next G2 offensive play. Now they've done that. That was the clear that they needed. So now a bit more even of a position to work with. Both teams have had their opportunities on open nets. They've not been easy open nets by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, there have been openings to exploit. And this is another one. Torrentoro doesn't have the boost to get around it. First killer might, and he will make sure of it. 1-0 Rogue. Just like we were saying, it's these open nets that are being given by both teams. JKNAPS late in the recovery, Rogue with a punish.
And as much as we've been complimenting Rizzo so far, well, he's got to make better contact than that next time.
Yeah.
Thought he had Kronovi a little bit closer behind him, so I think he just went early. Not entirely sure. Either way, it is a very welcome mistake for the 20% of you that did vote for Rogue and for Rogue themselves. And now only need to hold on for one more minute.
I would guess that there was even some Rogue fans on the G2 side of that fan vote. They know better than to predict Rogue to win a series of this caliber. At least then, if they don't, they can say, hey, I got the prediction right. That's got to count for something. JKNAPS sends the infield pass wide of the Rogue net. Just less than a minute left for G2. Demos are opening up the Rogue defense, but still, the remaining defenders are doing well. Torrentoro got goal side of that ball, stayed like that until the shot came in.
Has to be said, Rogue taking their turns so well when they are on defense. Take out a player, so Rizzo has to come in. Let's get well challenged by Kronovi. First killer to Crow. Can't make contact. It does offer an opportunity for G2, but they just can't make anything of it. G2 have had a lot of territory and a lot of possession this game, but struggling to remember their last major opportunity, and this last minute is slipping away from them so quickly. Rizzo, has he got any infield passing options? No, he doesn't. Instead, he's got Chicago on the hunt. And they changed the script on him, and Rizzo will score off it.
What a play. Chicago chased first killer all the way up onto the back wall and tapped him. That was enough to force the recovery to land away from the ball. Rizzo knew that all he had to do is put that ball on target and trust Chicago to land the bump.
So 1-1 in a pivotal game here for Rogue. They can't get this. They've got a reverse sweep G2. First killer for target. And Rizzo will keep it out. And we will go to overtime.
Yeah, G2 quite happy to take overtime in that position. They could have played for the 0-second goal, but I think they probably...
much earlier.
Yeah, they saw what happened earlier on to KCP. They think, okay, let's just go to OT. Let's just go to the kickoff. And here we are right back into the rotation in the midfield. G2 with the first real opportunity on net. Coming in for JKNAPS. Saved well by Kronovi.
Now first killer with Kronovi in front of him. Crow went early for Chicago. Maybe a bit of payback wanted. Now Chicago comes in. He's got a chance and very quickly shut down. Kronovi being proactive on defense. Now comes in one more time. Just prodding away at G2. They want to see if that mistake's going to come in, but instead it offers G2 a chance to really set up their way of counterattacking. Well, if they had anyone left on the field, a first-time shot from first killer, and JKNAPS is back.
Yeah, Kronovi picking up a couple of demos there. Unfortunately, no shot was imminent, so the respawn came in quick enough for G2. And there's first killer swatting away another test from Chicago. G2 just trying not to concede any more long shots into an open net, I think. They're positioning a bit more safely with their third man. You like to see that if you're a G2 fan. The worst way for them to lose would just be to all advance more aggressively than they should, and Rogue to pick up another slow roller across the field.
JKNAPS' recovery not looking all that great for him, so he'll be a bit late back on the rotation. So far, Rogue not setting anything up too big so far. It's just constant attacks looking to roll the ball or just hit the ball off the backboard. And G2 have not made the mistake that they want to see on the Rogue side. Torrentoro Can't recover. Instead, it's to JKNAPS. Good recovery on the wall for him. Has he got a midfield option? Chicago might have been it. And RIZZO, good avoidance of a demo attempt. He was the third man back, and after two players were tried to be used for the passing play, if he got hit, that was going to be wide open for Rogue.
Oh,
Just off. I think G2 trying really hard for the passing play.
yeah, well, that was just an attempt to not get dunked on by a goalkeeper there. You know, sometimes it will send the ball wide, but you'd rather not take a 50-50 with a goalkeeper when all of your team, your full lineup are that far advanced, especially G2. They know what it's like to concede those, and they've got a better opportunity here. RIZZO makes sure of it. What a day he is having. G2 2-0 in the series.
Huge reach from Chicago to set him up. And RIZZO, today of all days, will simply not miss. That is 2-0 for G2 Esports. 3 chances to try and book their match against Space Station Gaming in our semifinals.
Yeah, I think it's happening, Shogun. And as much as, you know, we'd like to tell you guys that this is going to be a Game 5 series looming, don't worry, Rogue are going to make the comeback. You know, history wouldn't suggest that that is likely. Rogue, they've really struggled in this matchup. And although they've performed pretty well today, I think that they've overall had a very solid performance from all 3 players. Maybe even more than G2 at times. The difference is that G2 have just got that extra connection in offense. The synergy is plain to see. It wasn't an assist in this game, but it was a run-on demo by Chicago, and that's just as important as an assist to tie the game with a few seconds left. How often do we see G2 timing their demos like that to perfection? I'll tell you, it's very, very often. And Rogue, even though they saw it coming, they couldn't get away from it.
So here we go, Game 3. I'm going to have to hope it's the first of many now for Rogue, if they are going to force us over to Champions Field. Thankfully for them, they have kept these games very close so far. There's been a couple of mistakes from G2, but not all that many defensively. Got to see if they can do what they did in the second half of Game 1. Here is Torrentoro. Will bounce down awkwardly, but JKNAPS doesn't care right now. Those backboards have been very well drilled in this series. They were uncomfortable with them, then they're certainly happy with them now. Torrentoro blast high, Kronovi, one more chance, and couldn't get the power from the angle he was coming in at. Rogue starting positively, but they've got to hit those better.
Yeah, the backboard seems to be a weakness for G2. Oh, what is going on there? Well, G2 with a couple of whiffs already this game. We've been praising them a lot this series, but not for plays like that. However, the backboard, clear weakness for G2 if we look at both games before this one as a whole. However, JKNAPS is going to make the Rogue backboard look just as juicy. 1-0. Perfect pass, perfect first touch, and again, G2 take the lead.
So G2 make one mistake and then just put their hands up, say, calm down, all right, it happened, whatever, we're just going to go score. And they have got themselves in prime position to head through to the semifinals. Just need to maintain their current lead. First killer was pointed out to be the difference maker in this series. Struggle to be that so far. Rogue are performing well, but they need that X factor. Kronovi over to first killer. Looks to pass over to Torrentoro. And even when they do get these passing plays off, you can already see that G2 player ready for the interception.
Yeah, Rogue are not at the same level as G2 are for, you know, number one, disguising those infield passes. Number two, making sure to have a connection with the follow-up player. That's G2's speciality and something that Rogue are going to need to keep practicing at if they're going to get anywhere close to G2. However, it's good to see First Killer playing for that pass. It's been many times in the past where Rogue have been in positions like this, down by 2 games, down by a goal in Game 3, needing to win every game from that point onwards. And what do we usually see from First Killer? Just solo plays being attempted left, right, and center. But that was, you know, a great assist from him. Didn't land during Turo's arrival, and timing for the shot wasn't quite in time with First Killer. But it's good to see them try it. And you know, I want to find more plays like that from Rogue, but unfortunately G2 are merciless. It's looking like another sweep, Shogun.
Certainly is. G2, just every single time we see Rogue attempt to play the ball out their own side of the field, it's just not working because G2 are on them immediately. JKNAPS wants to try and just seal this series. They can find themselves a third. Rogue, you get the feeling that goal has got to be coming soon. It's almost it. JKNAPS Be a bit scared about where that one could go. First killer. I don't know where that one was supposed to be. Half the game gone here, and it is dire straits for Rogue. Infield pass. Immediately stopped. This play is not going to work. G2 have it scouted.
You know, it's really good to see G2 continuing to play to their strengths, using that full team in the offense and using the full team in every single attack that they play for if they can. There's no fear of involvement for these G2 players. Never has been. Oh my goodness, they've even got a 50-50 goal into the top corner. 3-0. Rogue have tried. I think this is heading towards another failure in a matchup which has never been kind to them.
First goal, a challenge from Chicago that lands straight on RIZZO for the net. Next goal, an attempted play out from Torrentoro, immediately challenged, and it goes in net. And the third one, well, I feel like you can already tell what the pattern is at that point. Has not been working. Thankfully, we get something a little bit different this time. G2, after having such a close battle in games 1 and 2, are rolling away with it in game 3.
Now, where are all those? I think it was a Twitch chat majority, wasn't it? Who were predicting that there would be at least one upset in the quarterfinals. Where are all of those people now? I have to imagine that either the Space Station versus the Pioneers or G2 versus Rogue were the series that most people would expect that upset to come in, not Envy or NRG in the upper half of the bracket. Yeah, how everything's going so far. Top 4 in NA, very much looking like they're in a league of their own. We need to make a separate region for them so everybody else can have a chance to see what it's like to get to the semis. But you know, with BDS playing so well in EU at the moment, Shogun, with that same style that G2 have always tried to prioritize, 3-man offense, you know, extremely aggressive, extremely fast play, backed up with impeccable recoveries. I think G2 are going to be motivated to just keep on doing that, keep working on those recoveries, keep on getting better and better at that, because I'll be honest, for now, I think BDS do it better. I think their recoveries are a little bit cleaner than G2's and leave less open nets for their opponents to shoot at, but no doubt, G2's offense definitely up there. They continue to smash Rogue. 5-0. I think Rogue wish they could just forfeit right now. It's been a good try, but no luck.
Hat-trick hero for JKNAPS. And it seems to be a story that we are seeing so often this season, Johnny, where those first 2 games, no matter how close they are, if you can't get anything going there, the third game always seems to just be a blowout. Seen it so many times, we are getting yet another one. G2, this will be the message to Space Station Gaming. Reminder that G2, you know, they're talked about as if they're in that top 4, but points-wise, quite far down on them at the moment. It's time to start taking all that talk and putting it into some points.
And it could be G2's turn. NB, Space Station Gaming, NRG, they've all taken down regional events earlier this split. Now their majors come around, and G2, the only top 4 team who haven't won a championship yet. Maybe it's their turn. Rogue getting a bit of a consolation goal here, I would say. 27 seconds left. Maybe if RIZZO and JKNAPS get their controllers tied up in a knot, both of them become unplugged at the same time. You know what? Even if that happened, they still wouldn't lose. I think Chicago would be fine 1v3 with 27 seconds left. But Rogue earlier on in this series, they could be quite proud of how they played, Shogun. They were competitive. They all had, you know, individual performances, the likes of which we're not used to seeing simultaneously. It's quite normal to see one of the Rogue players, or maybe 2 of them, playing a good series. But all 3 of them looked good on the field today. And even though it's been a sweep, I think there's plenty to take away from this on a positive note.
Yeah, this third game is not flattering to what has been a solid performance from Rogue. There is a statement sent by G2 that there are levels to this game, and they are a level above. For those of you out there that was expecting an upset in our quarterfinals, all your hopes now rest on Alpine and the Peeps, because G2 Esports send a message to Space Station, and they are through to the semifinals.